Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Tulsi Maharani Jaya Vrinda Devi Jaya Vrinde Jaya Vrinde Jaya Vrinde Jaya Shri Vrinde
Bugs are gone too. Jaya Radhamad Kunya Bihari Jaya Radhamad Kunya Bihari Gopi Janamanaba Irivarudaguti Gopinana Manaba Yedi Badadadi Yasodananda Rajajana Ranjana Yasodananda Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tera Manachari Yamuna Tera Manachari Jai Radha Madhuva Kunabihati Jayurad Umadhova Kunabihati Gopidana Ballabha Hidibadadhari Hidibadadhari Gopidana Ballabha Hidibadadhari Yidivada Yasodanandana Brajajananjana Yasodanandana Brajajananjana Jamunatera Banachari Yamunatera Manachari Jaya Radha Madhuva Kunabihati Jayurad Umadhova Kunabihati Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Paravidikacharya also Teta Satashi Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Chalanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Huidas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Gadadha Shri Vasiti Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Sayam Makunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Machuradam Ki Jai Jagadath Swami Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Shrimati Lassi Devi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Samariti Ramane Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gaurvani Pacharni, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyacha, Deja Tarane. Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we're reading from the 47th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, text 68. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Evam Sabhajato Gopai Krishna Bhaktya Naradipa Uddhava Punar Agachan Maturang Krishna Palatam. Evam Sabhajato Gopai Krishna Bhaktyan Radipa Uddhava Punar Agachan Maturam Krishna Palatam. Evam Sabhajato Gopai Krishna Bhaktyan Radipa Uddhava Punaragachan Mataram Krishna Palatam. Evam Samajito Gopai Krishna Bhaktyan Radipa Uddhava Punaragachan Mataram Krishna Palatam. Evam Savajito Gopai Krishna Bhaktyan Radhapa Uddhava Punar Hakachan Maturam Krishna Palatam. Evam Savajito Gopai Krishna Bhaktyan Radhika Uddhava Punaragachan Mataram Krishna Palatam. Vajito Gopai Krishna Bhaktyan Radhapa Uddhava Punaragachan Mataram Krishna Palatam. Okay. Evam, thus, Sabhajata, shown honor, Gopai, by the cowards, Krishna Bhaktya, with devotion for Krishna, Nara Adapa, a ruler of men, Parikshit, Uddhava, Puna, again, Agachat, returned, Maturang, to Mathura, Krishna Palatam, which was being protected by Lord Krishna. So translation. Shukadev Goswami continued, O ruler of men, thus honored by the coward men with expressions of devotion for Lord Krishna, Uddhava went back to the city of Mathura, which was under Krishna's protection. You can repeat. Shukadev Goswami continued, O ruler of men, thus honored by the coward men with expressions of devotion for Lord Krishna, Uddhava went back to the city of Mathura, which was under Krishna's protection. So purport by the followers of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. The word Krishna Palatam indicates that even though Uddhava became quite attached to the land of Vrindavana, he returned to Mathura because Sri Krishna was personally displaying his transcendental pastimes there. So, the verse, Evam Savajito Gopaye Krishna Bhakja Naradapa Uddhava Punaragachan Matharam Krishna Palatang. So, Om Gana Tividandasha Gananjana Shlakaya Chakshur Miditam Yena Tasmai Shigadavena Maha. So first I'll read Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport. I'm not sure if I'm going to read the other commentaries here, because his is very interesting. Though Uddhava was they're all interesting, of course. Though Uddhava was very attracted to Braj, being fully devoted to Krishna, he returned to Mathura, which was protected by Krishna. And here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says something very interesting. Shukadev intends to criticize Krishna here. So that, there's actually a sarcastic statement in this particular verse. Mathura is protected by Krishna, but what about Vrindavan? For if he is protecting Mathura, why does he not also protect by Braja by coming there? Very interesting statement. And in this regard, I'd like to really start talking about Shukadev Goswami's ontological position and give some Shastric reference for that, which is really, in my mind, it's quite interesting. So there's ontology. So we all know that Shukadev Goswami is a great devotee of Srimati Radharani, and everybody knows the story of why Shukadev Goswami did not recite Srimati Radharani's name. But I have some Shastric reference because he was afraid. Obviously, let me just continue with that because I'm jumping ahead. So, because he didn't want to go into trance at that particular point. But there's actually Shastric reference for this. It's not just a story. It's from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. And here's the verse. It's mentioned, Shri Radha Nam Trena Murcha San Masiki Bhavetno Cha Reta Mataspashtam Parikshit Hit Krin Munihi. That's from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. He said, and this is specifically the explanation, when Shukadeva Goswami uttered the name of Srimati Radhika, he would at once remember her pastimes. Due to his Radha Prema, so he's a great devotee of Srimati Radharani, he would have become Avishta Chitta, which means excited and fixed in remembering her pastimes and activities in the service of Krishna. And it's described in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana that in this way he would have become internally absorbed on Krishna and inert for 6 months. And that would not have worked out. Shukadeva Goswami only had 7 days to go. And actually, this really was the 7th day when he was talking, 6th or 7th day when he was talking about Krishna's pastimes. It was the last days of the Bhagavatam recital. So, also in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, we have Sanatana Goswami stating about Shukadev Goswami. These are such interesting quotes that I found. Srimati Radhika was the worshipful goddess of Shukadev Goswami. So whenever he uttered her name, he would become, again, that avishta chitta, internally spiritually excited and externally inert. And this is all from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, he is given the name of Radhika and other gopis in a hidden way. And here's a verse from the Bhagavatam. With some of the commentaries, really interesting. Fred, this is actually from the 11th canto, 21st verse, text 35. Where, actually, yeah, what is it? Veda Brahmatam Visyas, Tri Kanda Vishya Ime Paroksha Vada Rikshya Paroksham Mama Chapriyam. And Krishna says the Vedas divide into three divisions, ultimately reveal the living entities, the pure spirit soul. The Vedas, seers, and mantras, however, deal in esoteric terms, and I am pleased by such confidential descriptions. So this is actually interesting, that Krishna becomes pleased when something is actually explained in esoteric terms, especially something that is so confidential, that's not really open to everybody. You know, there's a reason that these things are confidential, because it's basically no one's business. Like Prabhupada, you know, there's an example I give about Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was asked one time about, do you ever feel intense separation from your spiritual master? And Prabhupada replied, that question you do not need to ask. And I was listening to a class this morning that Prabhupada was giving us doing my deity worship, where Prabhupada said that if you just meet someone for the first time, you don't start asking him about his family and his intimate relationships with his family, with his wife, or Prabhupada even said girlfriend or lover. Prabhupada said lover, not girlfriend. So these are very confidential subject matters. Now, of course, Parikshit Maharaj was on that level, but obviously a lot of the sages were not on that level when he was reciting the banks of the Ganges. So anyway, so Shukadeva Goswami in the Bhagavatam, 10:30:28, which we actually covered already, he used the word Radhito, which basically is a hidden name of Radharani. It means she who worships Krishna. And it's interesting. Here's another verse. You find Radharani's name hidden in many places in the Bhagavatam. In 2nd canto, 4th chapter, text 14, Shukadeva Goswami uses the word Radhasa to indicate Krishna's unequal opulence, and he uses this as an indirect reference to Radharani. Interesting, isn't it? Whoops, wait a second, I don't want to miss some of these things. So he uses many, many words. You know, and in verse 10:29:5 of the Bhagavatam, he used the words kaschit doham hitwa, and in 10:30:26 uses the words tais tai parasim verse, and the words yam yam gopi aniyat in verse 10:30:35. The words, so these words are all, they indicate Radharani indirectly. So vadar anta vyapate. So he's given different verses that each of these quotes denote Radharani and the other gopis. So anyway, so Sanatana Goswami actually, this is all from Sanatana Goswami revealing this. And also, there is the story, you know, Sri Shuka Vacha. Shuka means Shriya Shuka, Orte Shuka, the parrot of Srimati Radharani. And also there's the quote from the Ananda Vrindavan Champu by Kavi Karnapur, where he explains that previously Shukadeva Goswami was the parrot of Radharani and used to sit on Radharani's left hand while she would feed him the seeds from pomegranate fruit. Pretty far out, isn't it? She would affectionately be telling him, Bolo Krishna, Krishna. Then this parrot would sweetly utter the names of Krishna. Wow. And then, yeah, there's the story. Once he flew into Nandagram when he began singing Krishna, Krishna as sweetly as Srimati Radhika. And Krishna noticed the parrots in the pomegranate tree and said, please speak some more. Then the parrot began to lament, oh, I'm so wretched, and Sanskrit, akrita ya, means basically akrita, bad activities and no knowledge. ungrateful, because I was sitting in the hand of Srimati Radharani herself, and she was feeding me pomegranate seeds, milk, and rice. She was teaching me how to sing Krishna, Krishna very swiftly, but I flew away and have come here, so I'm very unfortunate. So in other words, he's considered himself very unfortunate because he left Radharani and he's with Krishna. So you can see he's fixed in his service to Srimati Radharani. It's interesting, isn't it? It's very interesting. So then Krishna took the parrot in his hand, began to fondle it. And in the meantime, the Lita and Vishaka came and said, the parrot belongs to Radharani. She cannot live without it. Please give it to us, and we will return it to her. And Krishna replied, if it's really hers, then when you call it, it will come to you. And Saki's, if he is not really hers, then he will not come to you. They tried to call the parrot, but it would not come. Then they began scolding Krishna, saying, whatever comes to you never gets returned to its rightful owner. Next, they explained to Mother Yashoda and explained the situation. Yashoda snatched the parrot away from Krishna, saying, you are always doing nothing but playing with animals and birds. It's time for your bath. Your father wants to take his meal, but without you he cannot take it, so come at once. Then she gave the parrot to Lita and Vishaka and dragged Krishna away. And before Radha and Krishna returned to Goloka Vrindavan, they told the parrot, you must remain in this world to propagate the Srimad Bhagavatam. The parrot began to weep, and they both told him, except for you, there's no qualified person to manifest the Bhagavatam. So in other words, that's the story of Shukadeva Goswami. There's actually much more here. The interaction between Lord Shiva and Shukadeva Goswami. See, wow. So, I mean, I have a lot more about him, but I actually want to speak about another subject matter in relationship to the class, too. So another point being mentioned here is Uddhava leaving Vrindavan and going back to Mathura. I wanted to cover this subject matter. So, just like Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, and I'm going to give some quotes to verify this, Uddhava is always present in Vrindavan too, because he's a Brajavasa, because he's present as grass under the feet of the gopis, because that's his prayer. So he is Nitya Parshada, an associate of the Lord in Vrindavan, and also in Mathura. And you actually see this in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. You find Gopakumar running into Narada Muni in various abodes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he explains that his different devotees, that Krishna's different devotees can actually be simultaneously in different abodes. So this is verified about Krishna never leaving Vrindavan in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita by Srila Rupa Goswami, and also quoted by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Anchalila 167 of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this, of course, is in the context of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talking to Rupa Goswami when Rupa Goswami is composing his poetry, the Lita Madhava and Vidagdha Madhava, but at that point it was just like one poem, or one drama poem. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained you have to divide it into two. Also, Rupa Goswami had that message in a dream when he went through Satyabhama Pura, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu corroborated that. And he stated to Rupa Goswami, the Krishna known as Yadu Kumar is Vasudeva Krishna. He is different from the Krishna who is the son of Nanda Maharaj. Yadu Kumar, Krishna, manifests his pastimes in the cities of Mathura and Dwarka, but Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, never at any time leaves Vrindavan. And also, I can apply this to his divine grace Srila Prabhupada too. Never at any time did he leave Vrindavan. And Rupa Goswami writes in his Lagu Bhagavatamrita about the same subject matter. He writes, to give pleasure to his loving associates and even to relish his own wonderful pastimes, Krishna manifested in Braj, Vrindavan, because the parental love of Nanda and Yashoda, is without parallel. Lord Krishna eternally thinks himself their son. In ancient times, devotees reveal that the Lord appeared in his Vasudeva expansion at the home of King Vasudeva. And at the same time, he appeared in his original form in the village of Braj. It was thus said, this is Rupa Goswami explained in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita. At the same time, he appeared in the original form in the village of Braj. It is thus said that when Sri Krishna and Yogamaya were the twin children of Yashoda in Brajabhumi, when Maharaj Vasudeva arrived there, he entered Yashoda's maternity room and seen only Yashoda's daughter. Then Vasudeva expansion that King Vasudeva had brought with him from Mathura, King Vasudeva, sorry, didn't pronounce it properly, from Mathura, entered the body of the original Sri Krishna who had just taken birth as the son of Yashoda. In this way, the two forms of Vasudeva and Krishna became one. Because this pastime is very confidential, it is not conveyed in Srimad Bhagavatam and other texts. Nevertheless, Sukadeva Goswami and other great devotees have indirectly described it in their writings. So another verse from the Yamala Tantra, which is quoted also in the Lagu Bhagavatamrita. Vrindavanam Pratyaja Padamekam Nagachati. Prabhupada actually quotes this verse, which means Krishna does not leave even by a step. He does not even leave Vrindavan by a step. So, another point about this. Yeah, now just one more verse, and then I'm going to get to another subject matter. A verse from the Brahma Samhita. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhava Tabis Tabirya Eva Nija Rupatiya Kalabi Goloka Vinivashati Akilatma Puto Govindamani Purisham Tamaham Bhajami, which basically means Krishna, the important part as far as this discussion is concerned, that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So, and his associates like Uddhava never leave Vrindavan. So here's another subject matter for class. The third subject matter is that this also applies to devotees, and also as far as Akrura leaving Vrindavan, there's another explanation. He left Vrindavan to serve Krishna. This is a very important point. And then, and Krishna also left Vrindavan to conduct, from an external viewpoint. Krishna also left Vrindavan to do service, to serve his devotees. Interesting. So in one sense, another message we can get from this verse is that service to Krishna is non-different than living in Vrindavan. And also service to Krishna, in one sense, is on a higher platform than just staying in Vrindavan and cultivating one's internal relationship. And there's many examples of this. Of course, my favorite example is that of Srila Prabhupada. Now, Srila Prabhupada, when he left Vrindavan, he was advised by all the Babajis and everybody else, not everybody, but many of the people there, don't leave, the perfection of life is to die in Vrindavan. Yet Prabhupada, to serve his Guru Maharaj, left Vrindavan and to come to the West. Otherwise, we would not be here today. God knows where we would be. And not only that, but Srila Prabhupada left Vrindavan when he was getting ready to pass away from this world. He was so intent on his service to his Guru Maharaj that even though it's described that he was just basically bones, his body, that is, his body was just bones, and just no flesh and bones, the Prabhupada just left. And he was carried, I was watching a video of this the other day when I was in Mexico. he was actually carried by Tamal Krishna Maharaj onto the plain. And when the devotees saw him in the UK at Bhaktivedanta Manor, they were shocked. And, he just didn't look, his body didn't look like the way it did before. And Prabhupada couldn't speak that much at that particular point. You could see that he was getting ready to leave this world. But Prabhupada actually encouraged the devotees to dance. He was getting just so much joy seeing the devotees engage in devotional service. And there's a story told by Tamal Krishna Maharaj and others that there was a kirtan going on in the Bhaktivedanta Manor, and Prabhupada, basically extremely weak, but he motioned with his hands, dance, dance, and everybody started jumping up and down in ecstasy. And that was Prabhupada's final pass. Finally he was brought to Vrindavan to leave this world. And then you have Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who left this world in Calcutta. Interesting, isn't it? And Calcutta, he was advised by Gorkashardas Babaji Maharaj that Calcutta was a place of Kali. There's that whole story that Gorkashardas Babaji Maharaj had some problem with his eyesight. He was going blind. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur had arranged for Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to take him to Calcutta. And actually, first of all, Gorkashardas Babaji Maharaj didn't want to take service from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And he said, I'll never go to that place of Kali, which is Calcutta. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was preaching at the end in Calcutta. And of course, they brought his transcendental body back on a train. And that was also a transcendental pastime, because as the train was going back to Navadvip, Mayapur, there was crowds of people everywhere the train went, and they were glorifying this great devotee. So that was a particular pastime. So oftentimes, devotees are lured to leave their services, at the ripe old age of 35, or sometimes even 25, to leave their service and just live in Vrindavan where they don't have any service. It's basically, like you say, chanting Hare Krishna is service. Yes, it is. Sometimes devotees go to the opposite extreme and say, I have service, I don't have time for chanting Hare Krishna. But chanting Hare Krishna is service. Try to understand, we should be balanced in our approach. But many times that happens, and devotees go to Radhakund, and there's the Babajis. And of course, they have that whole philosophy that one advances, not that devotion, this is actually an interesting philosophical point, not that devotion is inherent, it's inherited. So the way you're going to get devotion is by, basically physical association with a great devotee. Now, of course, that's also very valuable. It's called vapu. But we have to understand that the vani, or the instructions of a pure devotee, are also non-different from the pure devotee. This is quite interesting. Like Srila Prabhupada, for example, he would sometimes give initiation, and even second initiation, by sending us a recording of the mantra. It's interesting, isn't it, to people? And some people, even some people in our movement, criticize that. They said, well, you have to be with the guru physically, like that. But also, sound vibration, as I experienced when I first heard the Hare Krishna mantra on the radio, can be carried through mechanical means. Why not? Because actually even this body, yantra rudani maya, isn't it? It's a machine. So if I speak something, because I'm not saying I'm a devotee, but if, let's say, theoretically, if I was a devotee, if I say something, I'm saying something through this machine. The soul is using a machine. So if I use the machine or the radio or of course, tape recorders, can't say that nowadays, or MP3 player, anything like it, it's the same. So in other words, Vrindavan is actually there also. I'm not criticizing going to Vrindavan, obviously, But the sound vibration of the pure devotees, such as Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, is a manifestation of Vrindavan. You know, if you listen very carefully to Prabhupada, you're actually transported to the spiritual world. And in your heart, you're actually, situated, your consciousness, when you're purified, what is it? Vishaya Chayat Shariya Kabe. Shuddha Habe Mana. Kabe Hama He Rabo Shri Vrindavan, isn't it? Naratamadas Thakur. Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shuddha Habe Mana. Kabe Hama He Rabo Shri Vrindavana. That actually Vrindavan becomes manifest when you're Vishaya Chatiya Kabe Shuddha Habe Mana. When your mind is purified, when you get rid of all the impurities, then your real nature is manifest. And in the Jaiva Dharma, we actually find that Vijay Kumar and Brajanath, by performing devotional service, their real nature, according to whatever their ras is with Krishna, becomes manifest. It's not given by the guru. The guru actually facilitates, isn't it? He facilitates the understanding, but the understanding comes from the person. This is what Bhaktivinoda teaches in the Jaiva Dharma, that, the guru will see, what are you attracted to? I mean, this is a higher level. Don't worry. Don't come to me with this stuff. We'll say, what you're attracted to. You said, I'm very attracted to the stones in Vrindavan. Okay, you're a stone in Vrindavan. And then, so he's reciprocating. It's not inherited. It's not given by someone. Of course, if we really analyze this, it's not given or it's inherent. It's actually a Chincha Veda Veda Tattva. It's one and different that, excuse me, that you actually do need the association of a great devotee to awaken it in the heart. You do need that. So you can also say, it's inherited in one sense. So it's like a false dichotomy to argue one or the other. You understand? To argue, well, it's inherent, it's inherited, because actually you do need a pure devotee, Pramana Ramate Konda Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasadi Bhag Bhakti Bhakti Bija, to awaken it. But that awakening is coming from sound vibration. Shusho Shraddhanasha Vasudeva Kataruchi. And that sound vibration, Prabhupada would say that needs to be heard from the lips of a pure devotee. And that's the holy name. And when you hear the holy name from the lips of the pure devotee, that awakens that. And then by concentrating on that sound vibration that you've received from the pure devotee and the instructions of the pure devotee, then you can go anywhere in the world. And that, for you, that's Vrindavan. If that happens to be your particular relationship. I mean, some people are Vaikuntha Vasis, which is fine. Which means they go back to the Vaikuntha, get 4 arms and all sorts of things like that. That's wonderful. It's wonderful. But the point is it gets revealed, and Vrindavan is revealed. And of course we visit Vrindavan, but the whole point is that serve in separation. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left this world in Jagannath Puri. And Jagannath Puri is actually like a Vipralamba Dham, isn't it? Separation from Vrindavan. It's really interesting. So if we're feeling this intense mood of separation from Vrindavan, then we're always in Vrindavan, always concentrating. And so like Uddhava, okay, getting back to the point. So Uddhava left Vrindavan, but he was always thinking of the residents of Vrindavan, but he was leaving for service to Krishna. So there was no loss for Uddhava. So there's another angle of vision of this particular verse. So we have about 1 minute left. Any questions? Yeah. 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 Yeah, it's inherent, but it needs to be woken up by Krishna's associate. Like if Prabhupada hadn't woken it up in my heart, I don't say I have love for Krishna. That would be kind of... So there is some requirement of a pure devotee to wake it up. Jiv jago, gora chanda bole, kota nidra yao maya, pisachira kole. It is inherent, just like a piece of wood has inherently, fire in it? It's like potential, it's inherent. And actually there was fire before, because the sun actually put the fire in the potential in the wood. And so, but you need someone to light a match. Actually, sometimes the wood scrapes itself. That's in the forest fire. So yeah, it is inherent, for sure. But also there is requirement of the devotee to waken it up. So, yeah. But the Maha Mantra is actually given to everyone, but it's actually, one should hear it from the lips of a pure devotee. Prabhupada said, that's right. Some people might go to Mathura. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, obviously Krishna. But our particular eternal nature is inherent. Whatever nature we have, whether it's the nature to be a coward boy or Vaikuntha or go to Mathura, and is woken up. And this is actually described by in the Jaiva Dharma by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Because that nature was there in Brajanath and Vijay Kumar, and that nature was woken up by the association. So,
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Taksham Bharhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalen Priya Priti Manti Pasyanti Panti Kayanti Giram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Purusham Aham Bhajami. Namam Sharam Satche Ananarupa Lasat Kundalam Kokure Braja Manam. Yasodabeo Lukalad Davumanaho Paramishdamat Yantagato Druchagopya. Rudantum Munetra Yugvam Rishantam Karambojajug Menahutsatan Ganetram Yugvam Rishantam Karambojajuk Menahosatanganetram Mohosasakambatre Rekankatahata Sitagravam Damodaram Bhaktibadam. Iti Driksadela Bir Ananda Kunege Sakosham Nimajantam Akyabayantam. Dade Sita Gesu Bhakta Ditagatam Punak Prematas Tam Shachavriti Vande. Varam Deva Mokshamna Mokshavatim Vaha Nachanya Vinayam Vaharishad Opiha. Idam te vapur nata gopalabalam sadame manas yavirastam kimanyai. Hidam Demokamajam Achanta Lilai Pritam Kuntalai Snigdaratais Jagopya. Mustumbitam Bimba Rataramege Adasavirastam Alam Lakshalabai. Namo Devatamuda Ananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukkha Jalabdi Magnam. Kripa Tristi Vristati Dinambatanu Grahane Shamam Agyam Edyakshi Drisha. Atma Jaubada Muchaiva Yadvahat Dwayamuchitao Bhakti Bhajo Kritocha. Tata Prema Bhakti Swa Kame Priyatya No Mokshe Graho Mesti Damodareha. Namaste stu dham nispo radipti dham nege Twadiodarayatha Vishwas Shadamne. Namo Radhikaya Priyaya Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tubhyam. Priyaya Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tubhyam. Namo Misharam Sachit Anandurupam Lasat Kunalam Gokule Rajamanam. Lam Gokule Brajamanam Yasodabio Lukala Dhammanam Paramristam Ajantagato Drucha Gopya Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radha Jaya Radha Hey Lahu Rahune Jaya Radha Hey Lahu Rahune Jaya Radha Hey Jaya Radha Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravatakacharya, also Teta, Satashi, Shimad, His Divine Grace. Abhaya Charanana Bhaktivedanta Goswami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Saya Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Mathuram Ki Jai Jagadasami Ki Jai Yamunamai Ki Jai Shrimati Lasadevi Ki Jai Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda, Hari Hari Bo. All glories the assembled devotees. All glories the assembled devotees. All glories the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. To the Supreme Controller, who possesses an eternal form, a blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Gokula, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my